Hello, and a good evening to everyone. Welcome to yet another exciting session of the Flipside series. My name is Adri Dhanandini. I'm an inspirer at Tech Pick a Book. First, let me give a brief introduction to everyone on what Pick a Book is and what we hope to achieve through this initiative. Pick a Book is an initiative taken to encourage and inculcate the habit of reading among the community. Through this, we hope to create a community of like-minded people and spread positive social interactions through the community. Now, let me introduce to everyone what the Flipside series is. The Flipside series is a presentation. It's a kind of a presentation where two panelists will give their ideas on two different books based on a question and answer basis. So, without further ado, let me introduce the first wonderful panelist for today. It's Dayan Hengedara. Dayan is the CEO of the Lean Six Sigma Company Asia. He has over 15 years of service and manufacturing industry experience, and he holds many senior management positions in the Mars Group, including being the operations manager of Mars Creda. Dayan is a strong believer in continuous process improvement and change behavior through systematic problem-solving techniques. Dayan also works as a resource person to the University of Peradeniya Industrial Engineering Department. He specializes in the areas of Lean Six Sigma, logistics and supply chain, and business strategy and development. Dayan hopes to live the life by being simple and happy. Welcome, Dayan, and thank you so much for taking your time to participate in this. Now, let me introduce the second panelist for today. It's Rasangi Tilakaratna. Rasangi is working as an attorney at law in the Child Protection Unit of the Attorney General's Department. She took her oath as an attorney at law back in 2015. She also possesses an LLB from the University of London and a diploma in forensic medicine from the Medical Faculty of Colombo, and she is currently following a PGD in International Relations at BCIS. She is a charter member of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka's Toastmasters Club, and her favorite quote is, "If life was easy, where would all the adventures be?" Hi, hello, Rasangi, and thank you for joining in today. Okay, let me talk a little bit about the two books that are going to be discussed today. So Rasangi is going to be talking about the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is a book that shows us how we can hone our innate abilities to connect with other people and flourish both in personal relations and in business relations as well. On the other hand, Dan is going to be talking about the book Scaling Up by Vern Harnish, which focuses on the company's growth stages and shows you the step-by-step process of successfully growing our business by 10 times. So let's dive into the discussion. My first question is directed towards Dan. Dan, can you tell us, according to Scaling Up, what it is and how this can add value to our life?
Yeah. Vern C. Harnish is founder of Entrepreneurs Organization, co-founder and chief executive officer of Scaling Up. That book published in 2014. This book includes many practical tools and techniques for building an industry domaining business. It will add value for everyone from frontline employees to senior executive level and senior management level. As you explained, scaling up, how a few companies make it and why rest don't. In scaling up, Vern Harnish focused on company's growth stage and saw step-by-step processes to successfully grow business by 10 times. In this book, I learned three key areas. First thing, three key obstacles to growth. Second one, the 4D framework to overcome them. And third one, the four fundamentals to scale up our business. That's three areas what I will discuss today. First thing, the key three key barriers to growth in any business. First thing he explained about leadership. Second thing he explained about scalable infrastructure. Third one, market dynamics. There's three area like which all any business there will be barriers for growth. And when it's come to leadership, here develop other leaders to do three things throughout the organization. First thing, delegate effectively, your work delegation. Most of the organization, if we some kind of example in Sri Lanka also, then delegate effectively is the problem for any organization. Maybe small scale business or large scale business, how leaders delegate their working effectively for next level, for right people, put in place system for accountability and measurements, then how they measure their KPIs and feedback and reward system. Under leadership, that's the first key area, delegate effectively. The second one, stay in touch with the customer. That's a key part which all leaders should do. But most of the organization, they are focusing only on operations, but not the customer. Staying in touch with the customer is the key. Then marketplace and frontline staff, they predict and respond to emerging trends, business trend. Example, how Amazon and Facebook work with the data. He explained that leadership quality. Then third one, under leadership, what he explained, ensure everyone is moving in the same direction. That's how they build their strategy. Then how they get top to bottom approach and bottom to top approach, both. That's a key area in leadership. Then second one is scalable infrastructure. He talk about that system that build physical and organizational system and structures. It may be finance system, maybe purchasing system, maybe manufacturing system to connect, evolve emerging part of the business and smoothing the communication flow. And it's how expedite the decision making process. That's the key for scalable infrastructure. Third one, he explained with the market dynamics. Then organization will face different competitive pressures as they grow. At 1 to 10 million turnover, a company needs more cash for growth. And when it's beyond $10 million business, it will face new competitive threats and customers' demand as well, and greater internal complexities and cost. When it's come to over 50 million turnover, it must run like clockwork to consistency, how we can attract correct people, retain talents, and satisfy customer needs and generate predictable profit. That be the key area. When it's come to that three obstacle, that's the three obstacle he discussed here: leadership and scalable infrastructure, and third one, market dynamics. And the 4D framework, which he explained with the 4D, then first D is drivers, second D is demand, and third D is discipline, then fourth one is decision. That 4D framework, it will help for any organization, not only small organization, big organization. Like Amazon, currently they use that 4D framework, and Facebook, they use that 4D framework. Under 4D framework, he discussed drivers. Drivers mean how we can change habits, internal people habits. He explained with the 10 Rockefeller habits. It started over 100 years ago, John D. Rockefeller. And he explained how we can build that 10 good habits, Rockefeller habits in any organization. Second one is demand. Balance how we can our people and process. Even there will be people in any organization, good people, but if there is no process, then there will be problem. The third one, discipline. Build three discipline that supports effective execution. But for execution, any organization, discipline is the main thing. First thing under discipline, he explained prioritize your work and how you can gather data and analyze data and meet with them. That's the key area under discipline. And other fourth one for these decisions. That's the main part for any organization. Then that book focus on that under decision, four key fundamentals. Then first thing is people and strategy, and third one execution and cash. People, strategy, execution, and cash is the flow. That book explain about how you can build people, strategy, and execution and cash. With that, then this book, the three obstacles and 4D framework and four fundamentals to scale up your business. That is the key of that key area which he discussed in this book.
Thank you, Dan. So that was very informative and insightful as well. So now let me move on to the first question to Razangi. Razangi, what is How to Win Friends and Influence People about? And what is the importance of this book?
Yes, Adri. Let me put it this way. Did you know having fewer friends as you grow older is more dangerous than obese or smoking 15 cigarettes a day? Did you know having a best friend at work can make you 7 times more productive and engaged at work? Wouldn't it be nice to be surrounded by a bunch of colleagues or customers you can call your friends, rather than being surrounded by a bunch of people that you suspect are talking behind your back or trying to sabotage your success? Wouldn't it be nice to have a network of professional friends when your career doesn't go according to plan and you're looking for new opportunities? So luckily, all the tools you need to build solid friendships, strengthen your network, and make people eager to help you can be found in this 85-year-old book. The principles stated in this book are applicable even today, as they were when the book was published. Now, dealing with people is probably the biggest problem any person can ever face. According to studies, 15% of one's financial success is due to that person's technical knowledge, and the other 85% is due to that person's personality and ability to lead people. So this book will teach you how to navigate through life by building better relationships with those around you. So in this book, Dale Carnegie states 30 principles on how to achieve success with people. This book will teach you how to create better friendships and how to encourage people around you to be the best they can. It also deals with things like how to be a better leader, how to better deal with people, and how to inspire confidence in your subordinates. This book is primarily for business executives, salespeople, and for people who are looking to further their careers. But however, the principles mentioned in this book can be applied successfully in almost any situation. It can be applied with situations with friends, family, or even strangers. So these principles are developed from Carnegie's popular lectures and workshops. This book is actually a self-help book, but it can also be regarded as one of the most influential business books of all time. Some say this book spawned the multi-billion-dollar personal development industry that we know today, and it transformed how we relate to others, and it changed the game of professional relationship building. So people skills are very important. This book has provided guidance to transformative business leaders like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. They didn't do it on their own. It takes people and influencing people to get to that next level. So this book will help you to get to the next level in building relationships with other people.
Thank you, Rasangi. So in a nutshell, this book helps each and everyone to be the better person, to improve their lives through improving the lives and having better relationships with everyone in work and social life as well.
Yes, Sandy, that's exactly right.
Okay, thank you. So now let us move on to the second question to Diane. So according to Scaling Up, what are the habits that we should change to build a successful business?
A good question. That habit will be the main thing for any organization. Without changing your habit, you can't get best output. But where Harnish explained, vision plus discipline is the way to success. Vision plus discipline, that is the way to success. You see that discipline Then how you can create discipline? To create discipline, there should be best habit. There are 10 habits. It's called 10 Rockefeller habits, which will help any organization to build their businesses to next level. For example, with that habits, over 70,000 companies scale up while reducing their time and need to run the business, many of which scale to 10 million business, over 100 million business. For example, Amazon and Facebook and most of the top level companies, they use that 10 Rockefeller habits for their to meet their vision. Then let's see that what's that 10 Rockefeller habits which we can use for our organization as well. Not only large scale business, for small business also, you can, if you can use that 10 Rockefeller habits, definitely you can improve your business by 10 times, not 10%, 10 times. First thing, the executive team is healthy and aligned. First thing is that how you care about your executive team, your next level people. You are just say that they call as white clothes people. Then that bottom level people. Your executive team needs to have a level of trust that permits through debates and constructive conflict to occur. Then when you discuss with your team members, then you have to talk them with openly. Then we have to give some time for them to discuss, debate with us. That's the key part. That healthy environment, we have to create healthy environment. Second one, he explained, everyone is aligned with the first thing that need to be accomplished this squad. Prioritize your work. That will be the second one. Everyone should align to one goal. Then business leaders, then middle management, and next executive level people, everyone should be in one page. As a second habit, what he explained. Third one is communication rhythm. Then how you create your meeting rhythm. How you create your meeting, morning meeting, then day meeting, and weekly meeting, and monthly meeting, and quarterly meeting, yearly meeting. That will be the next habit. Fourth one, he explained every facts of the organization, data, then person aligned with the accountability for ensuring goals and are met. Whatever work they are doing day to day, it should be aligned to their vision, company vision. If someone doing some work, what he explained, it should be aligned to your vision. If someone doing today some kind of email writing or some reply for other mails, then he or she should consider and think about why. Then what's the purpose of doing that work? Then it should be aligned to your vision. That's the fourth habit. Fifth one, he explained about ongoing employee input is collected to identify obstacle and opportunities. That means he explained here, talk to one employee each week. Then how you can leaders how engage with next level employees. Then not only works, they have to code them, next level people. What's their problem, day-to-day problem, and keep motivate them. That's the next habit. But he explained, fifth habit. Sixth habit, he explained, reporting and analysis of customer feedback. When you are giving some services for your customers, just you have to get monthly feedback from customers. What services they accept and what level you are in. Then only you can improve your processes. Then only you can identify your problems. But he always ask customers feedback and analyze that data and give the feedback for them. That preventive solution should be. Then seventh habit, he explained, core values and purpose. Always, when you are doing some work, that purpose, there should be purpose. And the purpose is called, provides the critical why always ask why. When you are doing something, whatever day-to-day working, then always all managers, all middle-level management, everyone should ask why you are doing that work. Why power? That will be the best thing for any organization. That's the seventh habit. Then eighth habit, he explained, employees can articulate the following key components of the company. Strategy, then how you can build your strategy, organization strategy. Then you have to get bottom to top approach. Then there will be next 3-year goals, next 3-year strategy, next 5-year strategy, next 10-year strategy, next 15 years, next 20 years. Not only that, he asked to pick your strategy for next 25 years as well. And everyone should be in one page. That's the next habit. Strategy setting. When you setting your strategy, you have to get feedback from middle management. Not only that, executive level feedback also you have to get. Ninth habit, all employees can answer quantitatively and qualitatively whether they had a good day. Then what he asked, every day, if your management or next level, middle level management can get some feedback from your members. How about your day to day? Are you happy with your work? Day to day, if you can get that feedback and how you can touch with people, and that will help to create good culture within your organization. Then that's the ninth habit. 10th habit, what he explained, the company's plan, performance, visible. It should be data at site. Whatever you are working in your manufacturing industry, especially not only that service industry, currently all banks, many banks, they are visualize their data, day-to-day data, live data is there. Then there is nothing to hide. Then what 10th habit is always company data should be visualized and data at site. That's 10th habit is the key thing for any organization to get 10 times scale up your business. That's what he explained in this book. On habit side, 10 habits will help you to improve your businesses.
Right. Thank you, Dan. So to sum up, there are 10 habits that will help businesses scale up, and a few of those are like having a healthy environment or having every management level aligned to the goals, and having a clear communication structure, as well as having the goals of the organization visible to all the stakeholders, right?
Meeting rhythm. And you see that many organizations, they are doing meeting, day-to-day meeting, full-time meeting, 10-hour meeting, 5-hour meeting. Then let's see, like, is it correct or not? Meeting rhythm should be.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dan. Now let us move on to the second question for Asangi. What are the fundamental techniques in handling people listed in the book How to Win Friends and Influence People?
Yes, Adri. Under this topic, 3 principles have been cited by Dale. So the first one is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive. Criticizing someone may make them resent us. Now, for example, that person might think, who does he think he is to criticize me like that? So criticism can make a person justify himself or herself. So, for example, that person might think, I did everything that I could, so why is this person criticizing me? So now I want you to think about the last time you were criticized by someone. How did you feel? So probably you didn't like it, and probably you tried to justify yourself, or you probably tried to defend yourself. So next time when you feel like criticizing someone, don't criticize, bite your tongue, and use the techniques that are mentioned in this book. So Dale Carnegie states a very interesting quote under this principle, that is, anyone can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most people do so. But it takes character and self-control to be understanding and forgiving. And there's another very interesting quote stated by Carlyle in this book, that is, a great man shows his greatness by the way he treats little men. So there are so many examples cited under this principle, and I will tell you one example to illustrate this principle. So during the time of the Civil War, American President Abraham Lincoln ordered a general named General Meade to carry out an attack on the opponent. So if the attack was carried out, there was a huge chance of winning the war. However, General Meade refused to carry out the attack, and eventually the war was lost. Now, in such a situation, what would an ordinary person do? An ordinary person would have probably scolded the general, punished the general, or even sacked the general. So now what did Abraham Lincoln do? He initially wrote a letter to the general saying that he is displeased with his actions, but he didn't send the letter. That is because he came to the conclusion that it is easier for him to sit at the White House and order an attack to be carried out. The thought that came across his mind was that if he was in the position of the general, and if he saw people getting killed, people getting wounded, and if he heard the screams of those people, then he wouldn't have carried out the attack either. So Abraham Lincoln forgave the general. So even great people like Abraham Lincoln has used this principle. The second principle is give honest and sincere appreciation. So assuming our basic needs are met, then one of our deepest desires is to feel important. One way to make people feel appreciated is to show them your appreciation. Everyone likes a compliment, everyone likes a pat on the back. So positive reinforcement is the use of showing repeated appreciation. It makes people want to do a better job next time. But however, you have to remember when you're giving appreciation, you have to give honest and sincere appreciation. So what is the difference between appreciation and flattery? Well, that is simple. One is sincere and the other is insincere. One comes from the heart out and the other comes from the teeth out. One is unselfish, the other is selfish. One is universally admired and the other is universally condemned. So Dale states that give honest appreciation. He states, be hearty in your appreciation and lavish in your praise. And people will cherish your words and treasure them, and they will repeat them over a lifetime. So that is the power of a sincere and an honest appreciation. So the third principle is arouse in the other person an eager want. In order to persuade a person, we must first see things from their perspective. This is the key to having influence. Like for example, so essentially we are making an appeal to a desire they already have, such as it can be money, it can be about an ambition, it can even be about better health. So let me illustrate this principle by taking a hypothetical example. So let's assume that you came to my company for a job interview. So now you're telling me that you have all these great qualifications, you have a lot of previous experience, and you have worked for really reputed firms. Now, after listening to that, will I hire you? Well, no. According to this principle, I will not be hiring you. So why is that? Because you have not shown me what's in it for me. Now, let's assume you took a different approach. Let's assume you came for the job interview and you tell me that you previously worked for a company that had the same problems as my company. And you help that company to solve all the problems, and you help that company to earn a lot of money. And you also tell me that you went for a company, you went for a job interview for a company that I'm competing with. So in that situation, will I hire you? Well, definitely, according to this principle, I will hire you. Why? Because you have shown me what's in it for me. That is because I would love to solve all the problems in my company, and I would love to earn a lot of money, and I would probably not want my competitor to be successful as I am. So I will definitely hire you. So those are the three principles that Dale has listed under that category.
Thank you, Rasangi. So if we are to talk about the first principle, so if everybody was able to put themselves in other people's shoes and be more understanding and forgiving, it'll be better to influence people and win friends, basically.
Yes, absolutely. If you can think from the perspective of others, then the world will be a much more better place.
Okay, thank you so much, Rasangi. Now let's move on to the third question for Diane. In the decision-making process is key in any business. How is this explained in the book Scaling Up?
Yeah. decision-making process, that's the key for an organization. The book focused on applying the concepts about four key fundamentals, what I explained at the initial stage. First one, what he explained, people. And second one, strategy. Third one, execution. And fourth one, cash flow management. That's the four area which he asked any business to focus. People. People first thing, like how you attract people, retain people, and how you engage their knowledge and develop and inspire them. That's the key thing for any person. Then second one, what he explained here, strategy. Develop that means a distinct strategy for any organization. Can you articulate your organization strategy simply, and it's bring sustainable growth in revenue and gross margin? Even if you have strategy without gross margin, what will be the final output? There's no any outcome. Then main focus is how you can get something for your business, not something, how you can achieve your vision through your strategy. Second one, the third one he explained, execution. That's a key part. Execute perfectly with three key habits. Here there was one question. What's the three key habits for any organization? The three key habits for any organization is prioritize your work and data and meeting rhythm. That's the key for any organization. If you can have better execution, to better create your better execution, then there should be that three key habits. That's then 10 habits is there, but that three key habits will be the first breakthrough thinking for any organization. First one, prioritize. Second one, data management and data analyze. And third one, meeting rhythm. Both things he explained about cash flow management. Do you have stay focused on cash and grow your business growth? Without focusing your cash flow, nothing you can manage. People, strategy, execution. To manage those three, there should be cash. That's the key part for any organization. When it's come to this people side, he explained about leadership and how you can build next succession plan for your people and your next level leaders and managers. And second one on strategy, he explained with the 7 strategic stuff. And anyone can download this document with scalingup.com. Then you can get standard document, 7 strategic stuff. It's freely available. And 1-page strategic plan for any business. Then all business should be in 1 page. Even within 5 minutes, it should be explained to anyone. What's your vision, what's your mission, what's your goals and strategy, and your KPIs, who is aligned to that KPIs, then everything you have to have explained within 5 minutes, what he explained here. And for third one, execution. How you can prioritize, how you can manage your data and analyze your data, and meeting rhythm. That's the execution. That 3 focus habit. Everyone should focus on that 3 habits. 4 things, cash flow management and accountancy, and 7 financial levers he explained here. That's a key part in this to grow your business 10 times. Any entrepreneur, any top level manager and senior level manager or any CEOs, everyone, then this is the key part. Execution, that's 3 key effective habits is prioritize work, data analyze, and how you can give solution with the data, and meeting rhythm. I think I have given a good answer here.
You definitely did. So we'll move on to the next question, Rasangi. So according to the book How to Influence People, what are the ways to make people like you?
Yes, so under that topic, Dell has stated 6 principles. The first one is become genuinely interested in other people. So we will have more friends by being interested in others than by telling people how amazing or great we are. Humans can learn a lot from dogs in this respect. Now, if you take the example of a pet dog will follow you around and show his love and appreciation to you without any ulterior motive. So, in implementing this principle, you have to be enthusiastic about others. Now, let's assume that you meet someone after a long time. Then you can actually go to that person and you can greet that person warmly. And you can tell that person how great it is to see that person. Or let's assume that you meet a person after a vacation. Then you can actually go to that person and ask questions about the vacation. Then that person will know that you are genuinely interested in that person. So the second principle is smile. Actions speak louder than words. And a smile says, I like you, you make me happy, and I'm glad to see you. Always remember that your smile is a messenger of your goodwill. Now, let's take an example. When you're attending a wedding or a party, you're definitely going to concentrate on what you're wearing. So when you go to the wedding or the party, people are definitely going to look at your dress, but people will be looking at your face too. So don't forget to wear your smile when you're going to a party or a wedding or even when you're going outside. So what to do if you don't feel like smiling? Dale states, if you don't feel like smiling, then just pretend to be happy. If you pretend to be happy, then automatically you will be happy. So he states that if you're alone, you can actually hum a song or sing a tune, or you can whistle or do something like that, and that will tend to make you happy automatically. So the third principle is, remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important skill in any language. Now, when we forget someone's name, what message do we send? So we are indirectly telling that person is not important to us. So when you remember someone's name, it's like paying them a mini compliment. It's an incredibly simple way to make others feel important. So you can use their name when you're greeting those people, and you can use that name throughout the conversation. So the fourth principle is, be a good listener and encourage others to talk about themselves. So people mostly care about themselves. They care about their aspirations, their health, and their problems. People enjoy talking about themselves and their interests. So to get someone to like you, be a good listener, be attentive, and ask questions where appropriate. The fifth principle is, talk in terms of the other person's interest. So look for the common ground and talk in terms of the other person's interest. Later, you can direct the conversation to what you want. Now, for example, let's say you want to start a conversation with a person, but you know that person is having an opposing political view than yours. Now, if you go to that person and if you start the conversation by talking about politics, then that conversation might end up in a heated argument. So let's say you took a different approach. Let's say that you and that person both have a common liking towards a particular food. So let's say you started the conversation by talking about that food. Then that person will also be in a good mood, and later you can direct the conversation to what you want. So Dale Carnegie states, the royal road to a person's heart is to talk about the things he or she treasures the most. The sixth principle is, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. So William James states, the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. So in order to implement this principle, you have to find something that you admire about the other person, and you have to pay them a genuine compliment. So let's take an example where one of your subordinates did a really great presentation in front of your boss. And you thought that that was a really good presentation and you really admired that person. So then it will be nice if you can go to that person and tell him like, wow, that's a great presentation. I really admired your presentation. So then that person will have a sense of importance and he will instantly like you. So those are the 6 principles with regard to making someone to like you.
Thank you, Rasangi. So, in a nutshell, a smile goes a long way, and it's important to be sincere and genuine And also, it's important to appreciate people in an honest way that will make them feel good about themselves.
Yes, definitely. All those 6 principles are very important if you want to make someone like you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandeep. Now let us move on to the fourth question for Diane on the book Scaling Up. It says that in any business or work, execution is the key. But most people fail and many businesses make losses. So, according to the book, what initiates in this book to overcome these challenges?
Yeah, that's simple answer. Then execution is the key. Any organization, yeah, that this room or anyone, any leader, any executive or any manager, they know what's the key thing. Execution. When you execute some work, first thing would be prioritize. How you can prioritize your work. That's the key. That's the most organization never do that part. Then they always try to do everything together, everything that strategy 1, strategy 2, strategy 3, and how we can achieve 3, 4 goals. He asked not to focus on everything, focus on the one thing at one time. Then only you can have prioritized your work. That's what he explained here. Rockefeller habits also here asks like when you develop that 10 habits, not to focus on all habits, just focus on key areas you needed for your business, what needed for your business. Just not to follow all 10 habits together, just follow what needed for your business. That's what he asks, prioritize your work. And second thing, what he explained with the data management. How you can manage, how you can collect your data first. In manufacturing industry, that's the key part. Apparel, then how you can collect your data. And any manufacturing industry, that's the difficult part. But he asks always analyze your data. And for service industry also, he asks use big data analysis. When you take some kind of decisions, when you build your strategy, think about data management and data analysis. And when it's come to meeting allocation, meeting rhythm, always he asks how you can manage your meetings effectively. He built some kind of standard here, meeting time for 10% standard works when it's come to senior leadership. He asked to allocate 10% standard work from his weekly work time schedule, only 10% for meeting, and 5 to 7% for middle management. Middle management, they have to allocate only 7% from their time, week time, and only 3% for frontline staff. That's the time allocation for meetings. If you can think about that, that will be the key part for any organization. When it comes to in our country or any other Asian countries, always we are focused. Okay, today there will be meeting from 9 to 12. Tomorrow there will be meeting from 4 to 8 p.m. Such things will not work. He asked all leaders should think about that and analyze their day-to-day work and think how you can allocate such standard time for meeting. And daily meeting schedule, but he asks only 5 to 15 minutes stand-up meeting. That should be stand-up meeting, daily meeting with only maximum 15 minutes for daily meeting. Then second meeting, what he asks on weekly meeting. Weekly meeting, minimum 60 minutes and maximum 90 minutes. Weekly KPI reviews and weekly project updates, that's maximum 90 minutes. That's what he asked. Then third one, monthly meeting. Monthly meeting, he set up for 3 to 4 hours with senior management. And annual meeting, he asks 45 minutes that top management should talk to employees. 45 minutes quarterly and annually. That's the meeting rhythm. When it's come to meeting rhythm, then if you can have best discipline with that, then that will be the effective one for any organization. That's answer for that question. Then data management and meeting rhythm and how you can prioritize your work. With that, then you can build your business into 10 times level. Okay.
Dan. So, according to the scaling up, how a business can avoid certain failures and losses is by prioritizing their work, time management.
Time management, yes. Time management. That's the key part. How you can prioritize your work, and then only you can manage your time.
Okay. Thank you so much for that answer, Dan. Now let us move on to the other question from Rasangi. So, according to the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, how can you win people to your way of thinking, according to this book?
Yes, Adri. So, under this topic, Dell has stated 12 principles, and I will only be discussing 5 principles. The first one is the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Now, if you lose an argument, you lose. Even if you win an argument, you lose. In an argument, you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. So Dell states that he has been involved in more than thousands of arguments, and he states that the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Now, even if you win an argument, you actually end up making the other person feel inferior and making the other person feel like crap. Even though you have a temporary sense of victory, it will not worth it because you will never get the goodwill of the other person. So it's better to avoid an argument at all costs. So the second principle is show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say you are wrong. So if you tell someone that they are wrong, what will happen? Will they agree with you? Will they change their minds? Never. You have to try a different approach. So under this principle, there states an example about 2 people called Wayne and Carl. So Wayne is a woodchopper and Carl is a builder. Wayne is specialized in oak wood and Carl is specialized in pine wood. So one day, Carl actually ordered a pile of oak wood from Wayne, and he got the pile of oak wood. And Carl was actually very frustrated about the pile of oak wood because he thought that that pile of oak wood was of low quality. So then he refused to pay money to Wayne. So Wayne actually knew that Carl was wrong, and he knew that the quality inspection was actually too strict. So now what would an ordinary person do? An ordinary person would have gone to Carl and he would have told Carl, you're bloody wrong. But here, Wayne actually didn't take that approach. Wayne went to Carl and Wayne asked certain questions from Carl. So Wayne asked Carl, why did you think that the pile of oak wood was of low quality? And he told Carl that he's only asking questions because he wants to deliver a good order to Carl next time. So Carl eventually realized that he had done a mistake, and he told Wayne that he's not very specialized with regard to oak wood. And then he actually paid the full payment to Wayne. So that is the power of never saying someone that you're wrong. So the third one is, if you're wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. So this will take the tension out of the air, and the person you are with will much more likely to have a friendly attitude towards you. Now, for example, let's say that you committed a mistake at work. So then you can actually go to your boss and you can admit the mistake. So the chances are that your boss will actually forgive you rather than blasting you. The fourth principle is begin in a friendly way. Now, if you have to tell someone off, then it can be tempting to just tell them what is wrong. This might make you feel good, but how will they feel afterwards? So probably they will feel terrible. So instead, begin in a friendly way, highlighting the positive first. Now, let's take an example where one of your subordinates did a really bad presentation in front of your boss. And you were really angry and you were really tempted to tell that person off. But let's assume that you actually thought the presentation's content was really good and only the delivery was bad. Then you can actually go to that person and start off the conversation by saying, well, I thought the content of your presentation was really good, but you have to improve on your delivery. So like that, you have to start off by focusing on the positives. So then that person will be much more receptive to the feedback that you have to offer. So the fifth principle is get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. So begin a conversation by talking about things you agree upon. Continue to do this throughout the conversation because a no can be hard to recover from. So start trying to get yes straight away. Now, for example, let's say you wanted a pay raise from your boss. Now, if you go to your boss and ask for a pay raise straight away, your boss is definitely going to say no. So instead, you can take a different approach. So instead, you can actually think about a fact that you and your boss both can agree upon. So let's say you and your boss both can agree upon the fact that you fulfilled a deadline and you fulfilled certain targets during the last quarter. And also, let's say that you and your boss both can agree upon the fact that you did something exceptional to the company during the last quarter. So likewise, if you lead your boss on a small incremental journey of yeses, you will eventually get your pay raise. So those are the principles under that category, Adri.
Right. Thank you so much, Rasangi. Now let's move on to the other question for Diane on the book Scaling Up. In a summary, how can we scale up our business?
In summary, then he explained here 3 areas. First one, the key barriers to growth any business. First thing, leadership. Second one, what I explained with the scalable infrastructure. Third one, market dynamics. Leadership is the key. Same time, you have to think about scalable infrastructure, how you can build your structure, team structure, and company system and processes. And third one, market dynamics, how you can manage with the data. And second part, he explained with the 4D framework: drivers, demand, discipline, and decision. Under drivers, he explained 10 Rockefeller habits. Then that's the drivers for any business, how you can change your habits. Then secondly, demand, balance your processes and people, how you can enhance their knowledge, engage with the problem solving, systematic problem solving concepts. Then only you can manage processes and people. Discipline, build 3 prioritize Rockefeller habits. First one, meeting rhythm, data, and how you can prioritize your work. That's a key. Any organization, you should prioritize your work, gather data and analyze data, and meeting rhythm. Then fourth one, for these decisions, how you can focus on 4 key fundamentals: people, strategy, execution, and cash flow management. That's in summary. That's the key in this book. 3 key barriers to growth and 4D framework and 4 key fundamentals for any organization: people, strategy, execution, and cash flow management. That's it.
Thank you, Dan. I'm sure your answers are very informative and instructive for all the entrepreneurs listening in as well. Let's move on to the next question for Rasangi. So basically, how can we be a better leader? And how can you benefit in everyday life by applying the principles stated in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People?
Yes, so with regard to that, Dell has actually stated 9 principles, and I will be explaining you 5 principles. The first one is begin with praise and honest appreciation. So it's always easier to accept criticism after we have had some praise. With this in mind, if you need to criticize someone, then begin with highlighting some of the positives. Now, Dell has cited an example about President Calvin Coolidge under this principle. So one day there was a very important event at the White House, and one of the secretaries got late. So when the president saw them, he asked the secretary, he told the secretary, wow, yeah, that's a really pretty dress that you're wearing. I wish that you can pay more attention to your punctuation. So like that, he actually praised the secretary first, and then only he criticized the secretary. So we have to remember that it's really easy to accept criticism if we had heard some praise beforehand. So the second principle is call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. So don't address the mistakes directly, instead focus on an alternative course of action. Now, let's say that one of the subordinates did a really bad presentation in front of your boss. So when you go to that person, you can actually start off by saying, well, I'm really glad about the fact that you were able to put the presentation together. But according to my thoughts, if you focused on this aspect rather than that aspect, your presentation would have been much better. Then that person will be much more receptive to your feedback. The third principle is talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. So it's easier to hear about your faults if the person telling them is admitting that he or she is far from perfect. Now, if you go back to the previous example where one of your subordinates did a really bad presentation in front of your boss, well, you can actually start off the conversation by admitting your own mistakes. So you can actually start off by saying, well, maybe I should have explained you the brief more thoroughly, or maybe I should have gone through the presentation with you before you presented it to everyone else. So this will also make that person much more receptive to your feedback. Then the fourth principle is ask questions instead of giving direct orders. So again, nobody likes being told what to do. So instead, use questions to get what you want. For example, you can ask, do you think it would be better to do this or that? Or else you can say, do you think the following would work? Or do you think we should alter the way? So by starting off questions, you can get other people to obey you more easily. The fifth principle is let the other person save face. So if you have to deliver negative feedback, then you have a choice as to how you do it. Never choose to belittle someone because it doesn't achieve anything in short term or in long term. So tell people off in private if you have to, rather than in front of other people. So, in a nutshell, when dealing with people, always remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic, but rather creatures of emotion. We have to always put the interest and emotions of others first. So, by reading this book will actually help you to get out of a mental rut, and it will give you new thoughts, new visions, and new ambitions. And it will increase your popularity, it will increase your influence and your prestige. It will enable you to win new clients, new customers. It will increase your earning power, and it can make you a better salesman, a better business executive, and it can help you to handle complaints and avoid arguments, and it can make you a better speaker and a more entertaining conversationalist. So I highly recommend everyone to read this book. There are 30 principles stated in this book, and there are so many examples, and this book will definitely change your life.
Thank you, Rasangi. So I thought that for example, if this book will be very helpful to any person leading in a number of people in any situation, right? I mean, giving a
Yes,
negative feedback or giving a bad comment is difficult, but this book sets many principles on how you can actually go about it in a positive way.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much, Rasangi. So we actually have a question. We have a number of comments from the audience. Modita Attanagoda says, "Great insights shared by two wonderful presenters from the PAB Home Tripper." He also says that it's wonderful sharing habits and tips to practice in our daily life. So now, as time has come to an end for this webinar series, I would just like to say a warm thank you to Dan Hengadara and to Rasangi Tilakaratna for taking your valuable time to participate in this discussion. And also, both of you gave many insights for the audience. I'm sure it's well received. Thank you for both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.